Hello and welcome back, it's Claire. It's been a long time since I've done an update for you. I think the last one I did was October time maybe. It's been so long I can't quite remember, so apologies. The main reason I guess is that I didn't really have much to show, but also life's been quite busy and hence it's already midway through January when I'm bringing you this kind of update. But one of the things I thought about when I first started making my videos was that I would just do them when I could and try not to put too much pressure on myself, because it does take a little bit of time, and with everything else that I've got going on, I can't promise you that I'll do monthly updates, but I'll try not to leave it quite so long until I do the next one. Anyway, I'm going to see if I can make this fairly quick as well, because if you're anything like me, and you know, I'm a huge fan of FlossTube. I love watching everybody's updates and seeing what everybody's up to and hearing that everybody's well, and but I am so far behind on all my videos, and especially at this time of year it seems that there are a lot of quite long videos out there, and I'm struggling to find the time to actually fit it in and watch them all, which is a really great problem to have. But I thought, I know what I've been doing is I've been able to watch a lot of the shorter videos, so I thought, well, I'll quickly post a little one and then we can go from there. So I'm not saying that this is going to be really, really short, but we'll see how long it takes me. So the first one I've got to show you is my October cottage. And this one isn't actually complete, but this is one I was working on when you saw it in my last video, but I was having a bit of a mare with it, in that I'd kind of made a few mistakes. And I can't remember what it was, but it was something to do with the October up here. So I think it was Dee that suggested that rather unpick everything, because I was a line off. So I think I was a line too far down and everything should be where the T is. I just actually kept everything down there. So I think I've restitched the C, and all I need to now do is redo the T here. This isn't actually complete. I thought I'd actually got it complete because I haven't worked on it for a while, but having pulled it back out, I remember now one of the reasons it's not complete is because of this colour here I'd actually run out of, but I have reordered it, and it is back in, so I haven't got much to do. I think it's just there's a bird here, and then it's just these little flowers. I don't know if they are flowers actually, I can't quite see. But anyway, little design extras to add into the top here. So I might try and get that done today, because then there's another finish. And this, obviously, it's the Cottage of the Month series by Country Cottage Needleworks. And I love October. I think this is beautiful. The variegated orange they used in this was really stunning. I really like the way that that's turned out. So that's hopefully another one of those done. So I think having not done a lot of stitching, my plan of kind of doing November and December in the months of November and December didn't happen, so I've still got those two to catch up with. But I started this series quite a long time ago, so I've already done kind of January onwards, so I'll try and get those done in the next few months. And this is probably a good point to explain what I'll be doing with my stitching in the next few coming weeks. I was looking forward to pulling out lots of patterns and joining in the kind of 15 new starts for the beginning of the year, or I know some people are doing the new start every day, but no, that's completely beyond what I would be able to cope with. I've already got stuff coming out of my ears here without adding more to it. And I was driving home on Christmas morning, in fact, and I was on my way to my parents to spend Christmas with them. And as I was driving, I was just thinking, about what I wanted to do, and I'd chosen the patterns for my new starts in the new year. And I was thinking about all the things that I've got going that I really like stitching on. And it just kind of occurred to me, actually, rather than do 15 new starts, what I'd really like to do is get 15 finishes. So I kind of there and then decided that actually that's going to be my goal. Because I've got lots of things that I'm working on, and I'm not saying that I'm going to be able to do 15, but I can't remember how I decided on. I think I decided there was either 6 or 8 that I'm working on that have got fairly good progress on them. So my challenge to myself by the end of February was to see if I could get as many of those done. Now I did actually include this one in them, so this one Hopefully if I get that bird done and the little bits up here, then that will be the second one I think that I would have completed in my kind of goal to get as many done as I can by the end of February. So that's one of them. You can just see that September lurking underneath there. This is a big bit of fabric. So you might remember this one. This is the potting shed that I started as part of Stitch Mania's ABC August, which obviously is quite a few months ago. The dilemma I was having with this one was the recommended thread for the border that you can see here was a Karen Water Lilies, and when I actually stitched with it, it was a beautiful colour, a really lovely silk to work with, but it was quite a rainbow effect. It was almost like a Technicolor Dreamcoat kind of effect, which wasn't really what I was expecting from when I look at the picture, which I've got just lurking under here. You can see that actually in the picture it does look quite muted, but that really wasn't how it was turning out. So I'd been out looking for some different threads, because took me a while to kind of decide what I was doing, because I was really reluctant to unpick. Sorry, I've just dropped this, let me put it back. I was really reluctant to unpick what I'd done, although I hadn't done much. I think I'd just done this top and some of this bit down along here. But as you can see, I went for it, so I took it all out and I just started. I had two to choose from, but the one that I went with is this Gentle Art colour called Fudge Ripple. I was a little bit concerned that the paler colour in here, this really tangled little bit of thread that I've got left over here. I will put this away and store it properly, but you can see that there's a really quite a light colour in there, and I was worried that would, there you go, it's quite showing quite nicely just there, that would match too closely to the fabric. But actually, having stitched it, I think it does work, and so that's probably the paler bit that you can see just there. I think I'm actually quite happy with how it's turned out. I'll just see if I can pull out, and oh no, it kind of falls off the table there, but let me pull it up just so you can see that I've now completed all of the outside edge, bar, I'm just going to zoom in and show this, one teeny tiny stitch that's missing from here, because I was coming along here and I literally just ran out of the thread that I was using, so I need to go back and fill that in. But isn't that typical? That always seems to happen to me when I'm stitching. But I'm much happier with how this is looking now, so I'm glad I kind of, even though it was a shame to kind of take out the silk thread, I'm pleased that I went ahead and did that. So this is another one that I'm not sure I'll get it done by the end of February, but I'm kind of thinking even if I get, one or two of the boxes filled, that will be kind of progress, and we'll move it on, because I really like this pattern, so I would like to work on it. So again, it's called the Potting Shed. And this is from the book, just in case you haven't seen before. This is Helen Phillips' Cross Stitch Garden Notebook, which I picked up in a charity shop a few years ago. So that's that one. The next one that I've made quite a bit of progress on is my The Way to Happiness, which is a free pattern by Jardin Privé. I showed it in my last video. I don't actually have it doesn't come with a picture, it's just the pattern that you download. But I think the last time you saw this, I'd definitely done the first two sections, and I think I was moving on to the third. And if I scroll it up, hopefully you'll be able to see, if I zoom out, I've actually reached all the way down to the bottom. So that was part 3, part 4, and then just this little bit down here is part 5. And this is really close to a finish. It's not quite there yet. There's some back stitching to be added in around here. I think there's some detail to be added in kind of up around here. Some back stitching. It's really small bits of back stitching that's needed. And then the other thing I remembered is I had to go back. Oh, my poor little lady here has no arms and no face, and I need to do the not the stalk, the handle of her umbrella. So this one, by the next time you see it, really definitely should be finished. And it's I'm stitching this using Nina's threads, and it is on a 32 count antique white linen. It's quite difficult. I don't think I can get the whole thing in. No, I can't get close enough, I'm afraid. So let me just do another little pan down for you. And I'm not going to read it because, you know, my French isn't that great, but just so you can see all the detail. And I love the threads. I'm really pleased that I used the Nina's threads as recommended. There's that section. And then there's my final section. It's really, really pretty. I'm almost, having stitched it, it was also a really nice stitch. It's quite a simple, straightforward one. But my bit of fabric is, let me show you. That's the bit of fabric I've stitched it on. So I've kind of got space to do it again. And there's a part of me that's tempted to have the English version next to the French version. And I have got enough of all of the colours left over to do that. So I think by the end of February I'll definitely have all the back stitching and everything done on this. Who knows, I might even have ironed it by then because I'm not very good at really finishing off my pieces. But maybe for the next time I show you, I'll try and see if I can get a wide shot of that one done. And I might then think about at a later date adding in maybe doing the English version. But I've really enjoyed that pattern. I really, really have enjoyed that. So that hopefully will be the third finish by the end of February when I get to do that. The other one I was looking to get a finish on was this one. So this is called Baubles and Bows. And this is a pattern from Cross Stitcher, and this is November 2014, and it's obviously one of their Christmas ones. And it's this one that I was stitching. I had started it Christmas last year, and then put it away. So I'd done the purple bow at the top here, and I just started some of the baubles down the side. So over Christmas, when I had a period of time where I didn't really do any stitching. So November, unfortunately, I wasn't very well. And then I was away for my mum's 70th birthday. And then the beginning of December, I was very lucky in that I got to go to Germany to go to a Christmas market for a week. We went to Nuremberg, which was absolutely lovely. But during that kind of period of time, I did no stitching. And so then when I got back in December, I really just fancied working on something Christmas themed, which is why I decided to pull this one back out and see if I could get this one to a finish, because it's been sitting around as a whip. And let me show you where I've got to. So I haven't finished it, but I did make quite a bit of progress on it. So as you can see, that's how far I've got. So I've obviously done this kind of side of the wreath, and I'm just working my way up and around. And I just also I hadn't done any of the back stitching at the time, so I'm now just trying to do that as I go along, because I'm not really one for back stitching. So I thought, well, if I try and do it as I go along, it'll make it a little less painful as such. So I've stitched a few, then done the back stitching, and so I'm just working on this bit. So I've just almost done all the cross stitch in this area, and then I'll do the back stitch in it, and then I'll move on round. I was hoping to have a little bit more progress on this one, but to be honest, I don't think I've stitched on it since kind of Christmas, end of definitely I don't think I've stitched on it this year, although I mean it's only 15 days into the year, but I haven't stitched on it this year. So but as you see, some of the baubles, there's not a lot of cross stitching on. Well, there's not a lot of cross stitching on any of them, but on some of them the cross stitching really is, you know, minimal amounts. I mean, what's that? That's 3, 6, 9, 12 stitches. So really, when I think about it like that, that should actually be doable by the end of February. It's just whether I feel like stitching on a Christmas design now that we're in January. But that one's one that I would like to get finished as well, because it's really beautiful. I'm using mainly the recommended DMCs for this one, but I did swap out the DMC. So this green colour that you can see, sorry, excuse me, I'm just pulling out my tin with the colours in. I actually switched from the DMC and I picked a Soie Cristal silk instead, that I just kind of matched by eye, if you like. So this colour is 3084 and it's absolutely beautiful. Let's see, sorry, I don't store my floss very tightly. So should I confess what I'm trying to fiddle with here with my right hand that you can't see off camera? I'm just going to bring it in. You can judge me away, I don't mind. This is my floss situation going on right here. I do have some of it looks fairly tidy in the tin, but then I also have this situation going on here. So I know I'm a real slob, but this silk, when I untangle it, here you go. This is the green, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it's really soft and beautiful to work with. So I'm really enjoying using that, just to give it a little bit of extra something, you know. So I had it in my stash, so I thought, oh, I know what I'll use that for. And I think this is one that I'd like to finish. Either I quite like the picture frame that it showed in the magazine, or whether actually this one would suit a hoop. I think would look quite nice. And I'm just stitching this. I think you can tell it's a bit of a sparkly Aida, and I think it's an 18 count from what I remember. But this is again something I just had in my stash to use. So that's that one. This one I'm going to show you, although I haven't done any work on it, not for the want of trying. This is Belle and Boo, Pieces of Autumn. And since you last saw her, there's actually less done, because somewhere along the lines with Boo, the bunny, I'd gone wrong. So I don't know if you can tell, but I just couldn't figure out where the mistake was down here. And because I couldn't figure out where the mistake was, I couldn't work out how to kind of fudge it, I think is the expression that I've heard used. Trisha use on 3 Hours. I was listening to what she was saying about fudging it, and I thought, gosh, that's just completely me. And that's what I was trying to do here, but I just couldn't figure it out. So in the end, I just had to take all of this stitching out here and kind of take it back until I identify it was one stitch out somewhere down here where I'd gone wrong, which is really, really frustrating. So by the time I'd spent ages trying to work it all out, and by the time I got to that and then just thought I'm just going to take it all out, I was just a bit frustrated. So unfortunately, little Bella and Boo went and sat on the naughty step. So, you know, my naughty step is fairly crowded these days, but it's had its time out. I've taken it back off, and hopefully this is again one that will be finished next time you see it, because you can't quite see Belle because she's all tucked away, but she's just got a glove missing here. I've just got the detail to add on to this leaf and to finish this one. The rest, so it's the bunny head and ears, and then it's these leaves up here that I've got, and then it's just the back stitching. So really, that should be done by the end of February. So let's hope there is that one done, and then it can come off the Q-snaps, and then I can decide what I'm going to do with it, because I haven't really made a decision about that one yet. Talking about wanting to stitch Christmas things, because I hadn't stitched for a while. It was Christmas actually. I hadn't stitched much, so I just thought I want to stitch on something Christmassy, and potentially something I could get finished as well. And I had in my stash this Lizzie Kate 2007 limited edition kit. And it was a kit, so it came with the pattern, and it came with the material, and it came with the threads as well. And I'd actually bought it in the sale this time last year, so it was a really good bargain price actually, considering these are all speciality threads. So if does it say? They were all crescent colour threads that were used for this one. So I picked this one up and stitched on this for December. I think I stitched a little bit on this on Christmas Day as well, and I actually got a finish. So this is my ho ho ho. Sorry, desperately in need of an iron, but this is my first finish in my kind of 6 or 8 that I'm aiming to get by done by the end of February. And I really, really like this one. This was really nice to work on, and actually getting a bit of a sense of accomplishment of getting something finished. The colours don't look completely true to life. I really like the green that was used for the ho ho ho, and the variegated blue was really nice, really makes it kind of pop. But this green that you see here and here and in these bits here, if you look at the chart, it actually shows it as a bit of a darker green. So I wasn't entirely thrilled, I guess you could say, with how it came out, but you know, I like it. I'm quite happy with it. I just need to decide now what to do with it, how I'm going to finish it off, because it would be nice to actually do something with it now I've got it done. So it's actually really nice to be able to show you a finish, because that's quite rare for me, isn't it? So there's that one. I have been working on the Six Fat Men by Lizzie Kate, and when I say working on, I think last time I showed this to you I had just been doing the frames, and I thought this would be a nice one to work on over Christmas while I was off, so I pulled this one back out, and as you can see I didn't get a huge amount done, so I've got this most of the snow done, and I've just been I've started work on the shovel. And then there's the little tree appeared there. But what I realised when I was working on this, I thought I had all the threads because I remember ordering them. But it was only as I was looking that I realised those threads had never arrived. So I couldn't actually do any more on this than what I'd done, because I didn't have any of these colours that I needed to do, like the scarf, the nose, the hat, the house, or, you know. So I got a little bit stuck on that one. So I contacted the company that I ordered these from, just this week in actual fact, and said, oh, you know, I put this order in. When I checked, I actually put the order in at the end of July. I couldn't believe it would be that long ago. And she was very honest. She just said, oh, I'm very sorry, you know, we didn't have all the threads at the time, and then just forgot my order. And I was a bit like, well, you know, I'd kind of hadn't realised it had been quite so long either. But she's very kindly sent those along to me, so I should be able to get a little bit more progress done on this one, on my little fat snowman. And as it has in common with a lot of my cross stitches, it's kind of houses and boxes. It seems to be a theme whenever I look at my things. So that's all the stuff I think that I've been working on. And then I do have, having said that I wasn't going to do new starts, I do actually have one new start that I'm sharing with you that I'm going to be doing some work on. And this is a pattern by the Silver Lining. And it is, I chose this because it's my parents' 50th wedding anniversary this coming December. So a year, well, not quite a year. And I thought, I looked around at lots of different patterns because I thought I really like to do a cross stitch for them. And this was the one that I kind of really liked. There was a lot of sampler type ones out there, but none of them really spoke to me, or they were a little bit more modern than I was thinking my mum would like, really. And my mum's always grown roses and she loves roses, and when my brother got married, all of the roses that were on the table and as buttonholes came from my mum's garden, and so I just kind of thought this would be a good one to pick for her. Now, having said all that, having the pattern now arrived and having gridded it all out, I've no idea how I'm going to get this done by December, so I think it might be a bit of a minor miracle if it happens. But saying that, I have made a start, so I've got all of the colours for it, and I've gridded one top corner of the chart, and this is the progress I've made. So really very little progress on this one, so I think I'll just see how long it takes me to kind of get this top corner done. And that will give me an idea of whether I have any hope of getting this done by December. The exciting thing about this is, I don't know if I scroll out, I don't know if I've shown you this, but it's on my Millennium frame. So yes, I have finally, I received it last year. I was thinking I'd put my Santa's Village piece on this one, but it was actually too wide, but it does fit this one perfectly, so I've got this on here ready to go now, so hopefully I'll have some work to show on this one when you next see it. This won't be included in my finish by the end of February. I think that would be far too ambitious for me. There's that one. So just other things that I was going to show you. This is one, my Heritage Sampler, which you've seen before, which I did take one Saturday in December to actually work it into an FFO. It's not quite there, but it's almost there. So what I've done is I added this denim kind of blue border to pull out the blues that we've got in here, and then I've got this reddish, it's looking quite bright on the camera, but it's actually much more muted than this, because this is really much more of a denim blue than the blue that it's showing. But just a little border, and then this one here. What you can see here, that's the binding, so that's the bit I've got left to do. I've done all the machine work, and I just need to now turn the binding round and stitch it on. So I've done it. Let me show you here with just a bit for hanging at the top here, and I've done it in the same material as the backing and the binding, so that bit will fold over so that if it's hanging and you can see the bit that it hangs by from the front, which you might well do with the way it hangs, it matches and won't show too much. So that's another little job to get done, and I'm hoping to get that done. I just need to spend an evening sitting and doing some hand sewing on this one. But actually I have had this hanging up. Once I took my Christmas decorations down, I've been hanging it up because I've got this quilt hanger here that it's going to go on, which it fits quite nicely. But I've just been cheating a little bit, and I've just been using a peg to hold it in place until I get it finished. But that's almost there, so I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. After I'd done this, I then watched Nell's tutorial on how she quilts her stocking. So I think the change I would make if I did this again, because at the moment all the quilting I've done on it are these two kind of lines that you see down here in the blue. I'm not very good at quilting in the ditch, so I always try and, you know, if I can, I quilt away from the ditch. But on the back, all you can see that I've not quilted this bit, and I think if I was going to do it again, I would actually quilt this back panel just to give it a bit more structure. So stitch that onto the backing and do the kind of the crisscross as if you've not seen Nell's video on how she finishes her stocking off, then I really would recommend it to go and have a look at it, because it's excellent. And I saw that and I thought, oh yeah, that's what I probably should have done with this. So certainly with anything that's a bit bigger that you're quilting, this is kind of a little bit floppy, hopefully because it's going to hang straight. So when it's all finished, I will give it a final press and an iron, and it will sit a little bit better. But I think that just adding the quilting in would give it a bit more of a structure to it. But I'm actually really pleased with how this has come out, and I didn't think though it would take me as long as it took me to get it done. It seemed to take me ages to kind of get all the cutting and then the stitching it all in place, and you know, it was I thought it would take me a couple of hours, but it took me about 5 hours to get it to this point. So I'm not the fastest when it comes to quilting or, you know, doing any of that kind of thing, but I didn't think it would take me quite that long. But never mind, it's just got bits of stuff I need to pull off. The only other thing then I've got to show you perhaps is just a little bit of haul, and I've not bought a huge amount, because obviously trying to focus on some finishing, getting some stuff finished, I just picked up a few little things while I've been out and about. So one thing that I don't think I showed, I can't remember if I showed you this, but I will show it again because it's absolutely beautiful. My parents gave this to me when they got back from France, and it's just got lots of lovely little patterns in, lots of little Christmas patterns in here. So I'm pretty sure that at some point I will stitch something from this magazine, and this is a French one called, I'm not going to try and pronounce that, I'll just let you read it. Does it say? I don't think it says. Oh yeah, it's November, December 2015. I also found these while I was in Germany, and these are by Rico, I think. Yes, Rico. And they're just little tags for presents, but they've got the space to cross-stitch them on. Now they've done them with numbers. Sorry for the glare, I haven't taken them out of the packet, as you can see, but there's also like a little flower down there. So I thought I could see if I could find, you know, something to stitch them on for presents for next year. That might be a little something to aim for to do. And then another thing I just found in a sale that I thought I might play with is a ball ball. I did put all of my orts from last year into a ball ball, and that was hung on my tree, but being the 15th of January now, that's all come down and been put away. But I thought this one would fit a cross stitch, so you can, if I hold it that way, you can see some of them that you get, there's like a plastic fitting inside, so you can't actually kind of feed the Aida or your linen into the space. But this one is is open when you pull it open. You've got space to actually fit something in. So I thought I might see if I can find a little pattern to put in there, and that could hang on the tree next year. Other things that I picked up when I was in Germany, I just bought another. Oh, this wasn't. This I bought after watching it on Garrett's video. The other things I picked up, I picked up another one in this design. This is called the Modern Bath. Again, it's a Ricoh design, and in here there's a towel. Where does it show it on the back? No, let me just see if I can find the pattern I want to do from here. It's absolutely gorgeous. Just flick through because it's mixed with patterns in the pictures, so I can't show you easily without showing the patterns, which I don't want to do. Is this one, these little fish here. Isn't that gorgeous? So I really like this one here, these tropical fish and the starfish, so I thought I might give that one a go at some point. So I bought that, and I actually bought as well the towel, the Ricoh towel, to stitch it on as well. So there you go, there you have it. That's my kind of goals for 2015. Well, my goals really until the end of February 2015. I have got a few other patterns in my mind that I think those are the ones that I want to work on to get done by the end of February. But certainly by the time you see me next time, October will be done. I would have finished the Way to Happiness. Hopefully I've got a couple of squares of the potting shed done. Made some work on my parents' anniversary piece, and maybe even done a couple of the Fat Snowman from the Lizzie Kate. We'll see how it goes. University starts at the end of this month, so this is my busiest semester going forward for teaching. So there's quite a lot going on there, and well, the job is always busy. There's never any lulls, and certainly in the healthcare in winter, that tends to be even peak time, I guess. So we shall see. But I'm happy. I'm stitching. I hope you all are happy too, and you're all out there stitching, and I hope you're all having a really good start to the new year. So thank you for being patient, and I hope you enjoyed this little update, and I shall see you soon. Bye.